Hey guys, welcome back. Houston Math Prep here. In this video, we're going to take a look at how we do arithmetic, that is, add, subtract, multiply, and divide functions. So it turns out that we can do the normal arithmetic options, addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, on functions pretty much term-wise. And so what that means is if we want to take f plus g of x, it turns out that all we need to do is take all the terms in f of x and add them up with all the terms in g of x. The same thing will be done if we want to do f minus g of x. We'll take all the terms in f of x and we'll subtract all the terms in g of x. On the subtraction one, we're going to be careful to use our parentheses so that all the terms in g of x are getting subtracted. If we want to find the product, or f times g of x, we will take f of x and multiply it with g of x. So we'll be distributing all the terms in f of x to all the terms in g of x. And finally, if we want to find the quotient, f over g of x, or f divided by g of x, then we will take all the terms in f of x and divide that by all the terms in g of x, and we'll make a note that this only exists when g of x is not equal to 0, because we know that we can't divide by 0. So let's take some example functions and look at how this might work. So given the following functions, we have an f of x, a g of x, and an h of x, we want to perform the indicated operations. So here first, let's find f plus g of x. So I know from my formula that that will be f of x plus g of x. So I'm going to take all the terms in f of x, that is x squared minus 2x, and add to that all the terms from g of x, that is 3x minus 4. Once you have that set up, from there it's just about simplifying by combining any like terms. So here I have like terms of negative 2x and positive 3x. So adding those together, I will have x squared plus 1x, or just plus x, minus 4. So by taking all of the terms in f of x plus all of the terms in g of x, I get f plus g of x, my new function. Trying that again, this time with subtraction, if I want to do f minus h of x, I know from my formula that that will be f of x minus h of x. So I'm going to take all the terms in f of x, that is x squared minus 2x, and subtract, in parentheses, all the terms in h of x. So 1 minus 2x squared. Here, it's important that we put h of x in parentheses so that we can see that this minus is applying to all the terms in h of x. So we'll actually need to start here by distributing that negative. So that will give me x squared minus 2x minus 1 plus 2x squared. And then just like before, we want to combine any like terms. In this case, our like terms are our x squared terms. So x squared plus 2x squared makes 3x squared minus 2x minus 1. So my new function, f minus h of x, is 3x squared minus 2x minus 1. So there we see sum and difference. Let's look next with those same givens at a product. So here we're going to find g times h of x. So we know from formula that that will be all the terms in g of x times all the terms in h of x. So we'll use parentheses here. That will be 3x minus 4 times 1 minus 2x squared. When we multiply a binomial by a binomial, we have to distribute the terms from the first binomial into the second. So first I'm going to distribute my 3x to my 1. 3x times 1 is 3x. And then my 3x to my negative 2x squared, that will be negative 6x cubed. Now I want to do the same thing, distribute the negative 4 to both terms in my second binomial. So negative 4 times 1 gives me minus 4, and negative 4 times negative 2x squared gives me plus 8x squared. Once you've done your distribution, go ahead and check for any like terms. Here I don't have any, so I could leave my answer like that, or I could rewrite it so that my terms are in descending degree order. So just putting my cubed, then my squared, then just my regular x, and then my constant. So when I multiply to create a new function, I distribute all the terms in the first to all the terms in the second. All right, last but not least, let's look at creating a quotient. So given our same f of x, g of x, and h of x, let's look at creating h over g of x. So I know by formula that that will be h of x divided by g of x. So I'll take all the terms in h of x, 1 minus 2x squared, and I will place that over all the terms in g of x, or 3x minus 4. If there's any simplification to be done, we could do that. Here there is not. So this would be our result. But with our quotients, we typically want to also state what x cannot be. And we get excluded values, or values that x cannot be, by asking what would make the denominator 0. So here, 3x minus 4 equals 0. Solving for x to get my excluded value, I would get 3x equals 4. Dividing by 3, I have an excluded value of 4/3. So my h over g of x function is 1 minus 2x squared over 3x minus 4, and it is defined everywhere except at x equals 4/3. All right, guys, that does it for this video on arithmetic with functions. We'll catch you in a next one.